Dottie mentioned the fact that Al Gore said that it was too inconvenient for people to change their diet. But one of your main points is it actually isn't that inconvenient. So tell us a little bit about what your experience has been in that, and what you tell folks when they're talking.
I should note also that I think Al Gore has since changed his tune because he is now vegan, and he's been vegan for a few years. So I think he's probably found it a little more convenient than maybe he initially thought.
I think he started looking really good after he lost a lot of weight and started looking really good when he went vegan.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, and he looks a lot
and
healthier.
That'll show up in the next documentary because I think he's working on another one. So
excellent. Yeah,
hopefully have that inconvenient truth of animal agriculture in with the environment documentary. That's really important.
Yeah, my own experience with it, you're absolutely right, is that it is not only not inconvenient, but it is totally, you can totally expand your culinary repertoire, so to speak. A lot of people think that by becoming vegan or becoming vegetarian, you're limiting certain things. And obviously you are limiting a few things that you don't want to eat anymore, but it opens up this whole world of other food stuff, of other ingredients that you probably never would have thought to eat before, and other ways of preparing food that you never would have thought of before. So my own background is my sister became vegetarian when I was really young. I was probably like 12 years old or something. And I'd never even heard the word vegetarian before, let alone met one. And I had no idea what to do with it. I was like, I would make fun of her. I'd put my steak on the end of my fork and stick it in her face and make a mooing sound.
One of those, huh?
Yeah, I was one of those. By one of those, I mean a good little brother. That's like what and I thought it seemed like Al Gore. I thought it was like really inconvenient. I was like, oh, now my mom's got to make a veggie burger alongside a hamburger. But I started to kind of try some of these foods. I loved food. I loved eating. I didn't care if it was a hamburger or a veggie burger. If it was good, it was good. I wanted to eat it. So I started eating some of the foods that she was having, and I loved them. I was totally surprised to find out that I loved tofu, that I loved tempeh, that I loved veggie burgers, and all kinds of other products that I just never even knew existed or would have thought to try before. I tried ethnic food for the first time. I tried Indian food and Thai food and Vietnamese food, Ethiopian food. Things now that I crave and that I love and that are my favorite types of foods that before I adopted a plant-based diet, I just didn't really have any interest in. And so, what I think is inconvenient is limiting yourself to just eating the same old bland things every day. And what plant-based eating did for me, and what I think it's done for a lot of people, is just kind of open their horizons up and show them there's a whole delicious world of food out there.
And what about, I know you do eat, we have people on this show who only eat a whole foods plant-based diet, and you are basically whole food, but you also eat the fake meats, you enjoy them, but you've taught.
Yeah.
Tell us about those, and then the one step farther that we're moving into, which is clean meat.
Yeah, so I eat plant-based meats. I drink plant-based milk, almond milk, oat milk. I've been drinking a lot of recently. I eat products from companies like Beyond Meat and Just Foods and Impossible Foods. The Impossible Burger, I think, is amazing. The Beyond Meat burger, when I took a bite of it, it just immediately brought me back to being at a barbecue as a kid. That taste of beef that I hadn't had in my mouth in like 20 years, just a rush of memories. And I love this stuff. I do try to balance it out by eating mostly whole plant-based foods, legumes and produce and grains and starches and other products like that. But I do like me a veggie chicken nugget once in a while. I'm not going to lie. Clean meat. Yeah. Clean meat is another thing. For people who aren't familiar with it, clean meat is actual meat. It's biological meat, flesh and tissue. And it's made rather than from animals, basically from, you could take a biopsy from a chicken one time, take a biopsy the size of a poppy seed or a sesame seed. And from that one biopsy, you could grow enough chicken nuggets to feed an army or village in perpetuity. And it's identical to meat. Biologically, it is meat, but it just doesn't come from animal farming. And so I've tried it before. It's not on the market yet, but I've had the opportunity to try little samples of the product before, and it is exactly what meat. I remember meat tasting like, because it is exactly meat. I'll be the first one at the grocery store lined up to get it when it's commercially available, I think.
It's funny. I probably won't. I'm not sure how I feel about the ethics of it. So, because it still perpetuates the exploitation of animals in a way, because it keeps us on the teat, so to speak. Oh, but maybe fake meats do that too.
Well, I think it's a matter of flavor. I think if a lot of plant-based meats that are out there, I think are so good and are so close to real meat that I don't really see a need to eat clean meat when I could get the same kind of taste and sensation from eating really good veggie burger, really good veggie chicken. But I think there are a lot of people in the world who kind of have this little mental hang up about needing actual meat. And I think for that part of the population, clean meat's probably going to be really important.
I mean, there's a lot of those people, right? Not just a couple or a few. I mean, obviously doesn't solve our health crisis whatsoever of type 2 diabetes and heart disease and hypertension and high blood pressure. So I know that I won't be partaking because of that. Plus, I just think it will.
I even had a problem with the Impossible Burger because it tasted too much like meat, which is a compliment to it because that's what it tries to do and will help a lot of people. Michael, have you tried the Impossible Burger?
No, not yet.
Okay, well,
we're bringing next week. Michael's present next week.
You gotta try it. It's incredible. I have a lot of friends who are like what they would call diehard meat eaters. And they love the Impossible Burger and they love the Beyond Burger. Obviously not because it's vegetarian, but just because it's a damn good burger.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info. And you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.